Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new Adobe Live session. Today, I'm extremely happy to be hosting our wonderful guest, Tanja Hildebrandt, who's also our lovely Adobe Live German host. Today, we're actually going to be speaking about a topic that is close to my heart and to many people's heart, which is International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to everyone here on the stream, male, female, whoever you are. We're just so happy to showcase some of the cool workflow that Tanja will be sharing with us today. We're actually going to be creating a sticker. So I'm excited about that. How are you, Tanja?
Hi, Natalie. Yeah, thanks for having me again. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm also excited for the session today. We already had a topic yesterday in the German stream, and we also created some stickers for Instagram. And yeah, today we'll be doing another one. So I'm pretty excited.
I'm so excited. And I'm also excited because we have so many people on the chat already. I want to say hi to Sean, Annika, Linda, Jelana, Oliver. It's so nice to see everyone here. And if you're not on the chat yet, do join us on behance.net/Adobe Live so we can say hello to you, answer your questions, and just be part of the community. Yes, so Tanja, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, so the plan for today is creating a sticker. We will work with Fresco. First I will show some sketches, and then we jump in creating one illustration using the animating tool in Fresco. And then when we have some time left, I will jump over on my desktop, and we will, using Photoshop, I show you how to how to prepare the sticker as a GIF with a transparent background to upload it on Giphy, so you can use it on Instagram. That's the plan for today.
Nice.
And yeah, I think, Tim already shows my iPad. So here I wanted, first I wanted to show some sketches which I've made for the International Women's Day. And also, you also mentioned it, I also wanted to set a focus, I want to create some kind of collection, like a sticker collection, which usually has around 2 till 6 stickers. So I thought it would be nice to, coming like with the same elements. So I thought of maybe creating 2 stickers with a hand, then 2 stickers with which is showing a face of a woman, which you can see on the right side. And on the bottom there you can see 2 persons, like 2 women, like with their full body shape. So I thought this could be a nice, like in an aesthetical way, a nice combination for a collection. And regarding the topic, like when I start making some sketches for stickers, you also directly have to think about the animation, like which parts you want to animate. So I usually go and have one sketch layer. You can see this here, where I create my like the animation which is not going to be animated. And on the second layer, it's a separate layer. I already create 2 or 3 frames to see roughly how it could work as a sticker. So for the 2 stickers with the hands, I thought of here I wanted to set the focus on, let me see, here's the animation timeline. To see like the little animation. And here the first sticker with the first hand, I wanted to draw attention to this topic of for a lot of women, they still have to decide whether they want to do career or they want to have a family. And this is some issue which is still pretty yeah,
It's pretty recent.
It's pretty recent. And for this one, for example, the sticker is not finished yet because I wanted to also create a little like sentence, for example, like you can have it all or you don't have to choose. But in the end, it's also like a sticker is always about the design, but also you want to show a little story, and I didn't want to bring it on a wrong path. So for this sticker, I still have to figure out which kind of direction the sentence should go. The second sticker, I wanted to set the focus on women in science because there's still way more male scientists than female. And so I thought it would be nice to have like a female hand. She has then red nail polish on her finger, like when it's finished. And yeah, I created these little icons like just flying around her finger. This sketch here, I thought of, I want to show like that a female can have very different faces. And so also including like every person who is identifying as a female. So I wanted to also bring that into the collection. This one here, sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted, I just wanted to interrupt, sorry, because I was wondering if you got inspired by other female artists, when you thought about these faces, because I know that we, of course, we've been taught, unfortunately, like a long time ago by the society that, the female should have a specific face feature or, specific hair, long hair. So I was just wondering if, these illustrations got you inspired by someone close to you or just, by content that you've seen before.
Maybe a project I've been working on 2 years ago, because it was about creating illustrations it was called a blind spot study during COVID, like for marginalized people. And there usually I work in a more abstract way. I love to reduce the things to its essence. And 2 years ago, we decided, because we wanted to show like a really big crowd of people. It can be man, female, male, whatever. And so here I thought, okay, maybe also reduce it a bit, but like just taking or showing different things, like how a face can look like in terms of your hairs, in terms of if you wear glasses or not, in terms of your lips, you're wearing lipstick or not, whatever. And just making like showing a variety of how a female person can look like.
Amazing. And the next topic is
this one, it's not finished yet. It's just, I thought maybe to also combine it to a sentence like girls around the world or something like that. I really liked it to combine like a face and a hand, but also to keep it pretty abstract without like the eyes and the lips, just to see, okay, it's a girl. And these two here, we'll be working on the right one today. I've made the other one, I can show it in a few seconds, the finished illustration. The one on the left, she's like a superhero, and we created this lady yesterday. And today we are going to create the female on the right side. And first I thought of empower. I think in the end I choose the word equality, because it's still like being equal to, like, in terms of rights, in terms of pay, like what you're doing for a living, and all these things. And I can quickly jump to the ones which are already finished.
Ooh, colorful.
For example, this was the one with the science icons. This one is already finished, and you can see, like, with the nail polish is red to show, okay, it should be a female hand. And let me check. This one we created yesterday.
Yesterday in the German stream.
In the German stream, right? And here I used the two different animation tools, the frame by frame animation and also the path animation tool for the clouds, that it looks like she's flying into the sky and flies up. And yeah.
So for anyone who wants to check how this was done, you can go to Adobe Live DE to check it out. Can't wait to see I can't wait to see the whole series, to be honest, all together. It looks really exciting.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's also it's pretty fun because you're creating, like, you really have to reduce also in terms of your format and like the shapes you're using. It should be not too crowded and not too much, but still you want to somehow create a little story or like, yeah. So, okay, and this one we are going to do today. So this is the girl with the flag. And I also wanted to show that she's really strong and passionate about, but like the sketch I showed before, she was standing still, and I wanted to bring in a bit more motion, that it's more vibrant when she's walking. So yeah, this is the thing today, that we want to make her walk and that the flag is waving. So I think I'm just starting. Usually yeah.
So that was an actual sketch, right? Like it's an analog sketch, scanned and
no.
Oh, okay.
I did this. I think I made it a bit bigger. That's why it seems to be a bit pixelated. I just used the normal pencil tool for that.
Right, it's so realistic. It's amazing. Really, you feel like it's a real sketch. I love this.
Yeah, I made the one for her, and then because I want to create like that she's walking, so here on the top you can see I tried first. I made a sketch like of her hand because she's holding the flag, so how to, yeah, the position of her hand. And the next thing was also, like, I didn't want to create too many frames because you need like endless time when creating a frame by frame animation, but I thought of maybe just using three. Yeah, reducing it to three situations or positions. Yeah, and so to keep that in mind, like how her legs should be looking like.
That's so interesting to know, because kind of like you said, frame by frame, it could be an endless process if you really want to focus on the details, but simplifying it and seeing how you start the whole process is also like interesting for the viewers. So that's great to know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can spend a lot of time. Honestly, I mean, I already finished it yesterday. Because let's see how far we come today, because
now we're gonna focus on the animation. So
yeah, it took me a lot of time animating, for example, the flag, and so you can invest a lot of time. We decided that in the chat yesterday together for a color palette, so that's why I would go for the same today, because that it's like consistent through the collection. You can see these here in my swatches. So first, I'm working a lot with, let me check, mostly with vector layers, because most of the time I'm working with Illustrator, and it's like, for me, it feels like you always can adjust the things, make it bigger, make it smaller. So I really like that.
Tanja, I got a question for you from Jackie. What size of canvas do you work on for the stickers, or should that be relevant, or is there like a specific size that you recommend?
That's a very good question. I mean, when you're working with vectors, you can still adjust this later on, but I would recommend, or when you want to create the stickers for Instagram, they say that the best size is 500 or 480 pixels by 480 pixels, but you can make it up to 800 by 600 pixels. So mine now is 500 by 500. So, but the one yesterday, I think I also used vector shapes, and I made it, or the size was 2000 by 2000 pixel. But anyway, because I work on it later in Photoshop, I can still resize it and make it a bit smaller. So yeah, but around 480 is a good, is a good size.
So now we are tracing the drawing.
Yeah, right. So yeah, and most of the time I just make the outlines and then fill it with a, how's this tool called? I don't know, with a bucket tool.
Bucket tool.
Bucket tool, right. And for example, here for her arm, sometimes I'm also using these, here on the right corner, you have these really cool tools, like these drawing, like the ruler, but you also have like a circle and a square. So you can also use these for creating your shapes. And sometimes I do this, for example, here, I can show.
That's so cool.
Because when you have, yeah, like consistency, and then you can.
It's a great trick.
You can make it a bit smaller.
Wow. Sometimes I don't know if this will happen in real life, where you can actually end up using these tools in real life. This is amazing. And I just love like how smooth is your process, because it seems like we're already actually seeing an animation. I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but great tricks. But yeah,
not yet, but
not yet. It's not animation yet. But for the previous tool, yes, it's the fill tool, and as Tim says in the chat, or the paint bucket.
Yeah, the paint bucket, right. Yeah, I changed the language to English like just 10 minutes before the stream started.
New eye. Amazing.
So, and now I want to give her like a pixel, like a little pattern on top of her, yeah, of what she's wearing. And I'm just creating also these circles with these tool, and then on a separate layer, and I can just create a clipping mask, and you have the pattern inside her arm. So now the color, and also you can invest a lot of time thinking about the color.
Yeah, but good thing we have a color palette to follow, so that should be easier for our 1 hour stream.
And what I also usually do is showing the grid pattern in the back, because it helps me to make a straight line. And also if I hold the pencil here, I think Fresco has this since 2 or 3 updates, you can make a really straight line, which is pretty cool.
Nice. I love Fresco.
Yeah, me too. Bring it down. And yeah, maybe let's already start with, maybe the hand.
Amazing. So every time you draw something, it just creates a layer.
I create them manually, but I'm being aware that I create like every single shape on a separate layer to be able to animate a few of them afterwards, because otherwise I can't. I can only work on the whole layer, so this keeps it a bit more open to me. And for example, here for the hand, I create one layer for the color, the fill color, and then I create a second layer because here, for example, want to create the outlines.
People are amazed by the stamps that you created for, well, the stamps, the pattern that with the clipping mask.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's pretty easy and pretty fast to create a pattern this way, or also, for example, with like just with lines.
Yeah.
Maybe to have a straight line here, I will bring this layer a bit down, that I have it in the background so I can directly make it straight down here.
Yeah, nice. Where did you get inspired from, Tanja, using the colors, or just random picks?
Yeah, to be honest, with the time, I have my own color palette, like a few colors which I really love to use all the time. And sometimes, for example, for this one here, I also added a yellow. We had this yesterday on the stream. It was a recommendation from somebody in the stream, in the community. So yeah, also I realized, for example, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I didn't work with purple that much, but with the time, I really liked it. So it also changes with the time. Or when you being outside and you see something which, I don't know, then sometimes you also feel inspired. So I also have to bring the hand
above, no?
Under her arm.
Yeah.
So I select both of them and bring them here. So, okay, maybe we start with her legs now, because this will be the first thing which will be animated. And here I do the same. I take one layer for each of her leg. I keep them separate because I want them both to move in a separate way.
Great. Now we need to figure out if she's walking backwards or forward.
Yeah, you know, that's the point. I'm still not sure. I didn't close my path here. So you always have to close it. Otherwise, yeah, otherwise you fill the whole artboard. Yeah, you know, I'm still not sure whether she's walking like straight in which direction, because it was a bit confusing yesterday.
Yeah, like Sandrine says in the chat, a moonwalk is not a bad idea. So even if she ends up walking backwards, it's still cool. Great. And I also see that like the movement is already created on the pants, right? So this way, when she's moving like that shape, it also like it shows in the animation.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? Because that was the reason why I made these tiny illustrations on the top, that I can still, see which position I already have and which one I need.
Yeah.
But it's always a bit like trial and error to create the animations, and then afterwards you can see whether it's enough or it looks like, not really straight. Yeah. So, okay, I think this leg is the leg in the front. This is her left leg. So, and now I would start to animate this this leg. For that, I go here in the right corner and open my tool, and let me see. I create a second frame just by clicking the plus symbol. And here under settings, I can also say I want to have onion skinning or onion skin. This is pretty helpful because I can see the frame before, and you can also say how many frames you want to see. I just keep it to 1. And And now I can create my second layer. I turn on. So this now is here in the middle. And also you have to be aware that she somehow keeps her shape in a way. Also, I make this one here.
This is so cool. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's always when you started and then you're watching your animation or your animated layers, it's always like, oh yeah, cool. But then you need a lot of time to really make it smooth, like that it's working in the end. So and now like the third frame, so she just has one position like with her left leg in the front, one in the middle and one in the back. And yeah, hopefully that is enough to show the motion.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about stickers, especially if you're using them on Instagram. You know, it's should be simple and not too detailed, but yeah, looking good.
Yeah, right. So this is the first leg moving. Now I will make this invisible, and here I go to her right, like the leg in the back.
Nice.
I turn the opacity to 100 again and also create a second frame.
I remember back in like how long was that? Like some years ago, where we had to create like this frame by frame on Illustrator, and it was just like so many layers. You had to name each layer, and it's fantastic to see this new, you know, animation tool on Fresco. It's much easier these days.
Yeah. Yeah, but still sometimes you can, I don't know. Yeah, you really have to be focused, otherwise you mess it up and total confusion when you watch your layers. So even for example here, because now I have both legs kind of in the middle, but still I want to be, I both want them to be visible. So, but then it's easier if I just go back to this one leg.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, the chat, I'm seeing the chat is busy. Feel free to ask your questions to Tanja. I know lots of people are on the chat already asking about Fresco and learning about the tricks. I'm curious to see, you know, your inspirations today in the chat. So feel free to just drop them in there so we can see who inspired you on this special day. Your favorite quotes, anything that you'd like to share with the community. We'll also have our Discord channel that you can join us later after the stream, after we finish the stickers, if you have any questions, and keep the conversation. Good.
So let's see. Okay. She's already moving. And now what I do next to, because I did this here as well, I created this outline layer, and I think this is pretty helpful to see better which leg is in which position. So I create a new layer and maybe use black for the outline mode, and all the overlapping parts I'm just creating an outline so you can see it better. Oops. So and also I really like it to create the outlines just pretty randomly at some parts of her.
Looking good.
So let me check. this one, when I go to the next layer, I also make the opacity to 60 that I can see better which leg is
moving.
You know, I get confused myself because the one on the top layer is her left leg.
Yeah.
Okay, so I turn down the opacity from the leg in the background. This is better. So I have to go back. And here I made it in the wrong direction. Now you can see it because I have to make opacity to 100 here on her left leg, and I switch it down to 60 on her right leg. So now I can go back to this layer here, and I will erase the.
Yeah, because the outlines really help identifying which leg is in front and which leg is in the back. So now we're doing the left one.
So this one is better right now.
Yeah, looking better.
Okay, here we go. So. And the third one, I have to go back to my to the layer from the leg. Also, turn down the opacity a bit. This one is the right one. Yes, I go back to my outline layer, and
so that's a great tip actually for those who are watching. So in order to differentiate the right one from the left one, you just turn down the opacity so you can not get confused. That's great.
Like I did now. But yeah. So let's see. Okay, I'm bringing the opacity to 100. Okay, now she's walking pretty fast, but you can also adjust that here in the motion settings. You can decrease or increase the frames per second. And for example, now she's walking a bit, not that fast. I think maybe this one is right. So the next thing would be creating a layer, or I also bring these layers from her trouser into the background because now they're over her jacket. So I'm selecting these 3, bring them here, and I'm creating another layer underneath her trouser for her shoes.
So will we animate the shoes? No, I don't think that's needed. Oh yeah, because they have to move, obviously.
They also have to move.
Tim, please cut that from the stream.
Can you give me an update? Yeah, okay, we have half an hour. That's good. I mean, you could also copy them to make sure that they all have the same size, but also I would do this with just the onion skin and make sure that I have the same size, but just by eye. And here, for example, to be a bit faster, I create or I draw both shoes on the same layer because I think it's working for now.
So we have a question from Sandrine. Can you animate the content of a whole group, or do you have to merge that group? Interesting.
You have to merge the group, and this is, or you can just animate one single layer and not a group altogether. So for example, also when you want to draw a face where you have like multiple colors, and you usually would draw every single color on a single layer. So then afterwards rather want, you can make sure that you're happy with the illustration, you can merge them together and then starting the animation, or you just, like animating all the single layers.
Nice.
Okay, so let's see. I switch off onion scanning. Okay, maybe her shoe is a bit smaller here on that frame, but like, and these are the details where you can really invest a lot of time. But I think I would love to jump to the flag, show how I made these, because this was the trickiest part, because in the end I realized that I have two I need two different speeds. One for the flag, it needs to be a bit faster than, of course, like the speed of how she's walking. So maybe go to that. And what I did not mention it yet, for the legs, I only used 3 frames. Like usually I would recommend using 12 was the best. I said 14 yesterday, but also Tim, he corrected me and said 12 is the best number, because you can divide it into 2 or 3 or 4. So that means that for single animated layers, you could, for example, also just use 3 layers and it still works with the whole animation. So I would recommend to use 12. For example, for the flag, I used 12, and because for her legs, I only used 3 layers, it's still working. So
yeah, that's a good tip. So go for 12. Will we animate the words as well, or do we have time for that, Tanja?
Let's see. I think I show how I will create like 2 or 3 frames, and then we can jump in the ready-made illustration and I can show the process how I did it.
Nice.
I think it's much easier because it took me like some time to finish it. So I think we don't have that much time today. But like the first thing was that I created the flag itself, and then I created a different layer for the typo. And I also wanted to use this dark
shadows, no?
Yeah, just a bit that it.
Nice. Really makes a difference.
I mean, you could also create an own layer for that, but I think this is too much work, so I will just create this on the same, bring this on the same layer. And and now I want to bring this flag into movement, and for that I now duplicate this frame. And what I also did to have to be a bit more precisely, I created like an imaginary line where I thought, okay, like this is like the line of the flag, so I could.
So you can follow the movement.
Yeah, right. I delete this once again. So now here we go. Yeah, I think that's okay. Now I'm back on my layer with a flag. I duplicate this frame, and now I use the selection tool and just select this part here, which I want to move, that it looks like a wind is coming and it moves to the right. So deselect, and now I have to work on it again.
Nice. And so it's easy as using an eraser to just...
Yeah, right, because you can somehow, I mean, it also depends how you want to create your animation, but if you want to keep the shape of this part, I think that's, yeah, I would do it like in this way.
Nice.
So, and I do one more. I duplicate the frame again, make the selection again, bring it a bit to the right, and like somehow fill some fabric into my flag.
Yeah, you know, watching this, it's proof that, you know, it's really simple to create things on Fresco. So hopefully everyone will get inspired to create their own sticker and share it with us after the stream.
Yeah, that would be nice. So, and now we can see, and now we already have like this movement of the flag. So sometimes it makes these little fine lines in between these white lines, and yeah, you can just use the
eraser,
the pen tool again and draw over it again that you, yeah. So, and at one point I made another copy, and I did the same process here, brought it to the right, but also I created another, how's it called, like where it's like where it has a curve. I want to create another one. So maybe here. And I move this a bit down because now I can create the second curve here.
Ah, yeah.
And also the dark blue again. So, yeah. And then I would go on for 12 frames, which I can also recommend is when you're working with a few animated layers, it's also good to make your timeline of the document visible, because then you always know like where you are in your animation. And yeah, but I think for now I will not animate the whole flag because it's the same like over and over again. But yeah, I can create another layer for the typo.
Nice.
For the first one, I turned down the opacity a bit, and I want to also use this darker blue. So this is right, and go on my separate layer. And here for that, I created this line, which is also pretty helpful because then I can see, okay, at this point, where the letter here, for example, the A is, I want to make like this curve that it's, yeah.
That can show that it's moving with the flag.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I also show, make my grid visible that I can see this. It's a bit more easy when working with type. And I decrease my size. It's a bit too thick. 1.5. So this is just like handwriting. And I would start here, and then where my line is, I would make this here and go down a bit. Okay. Then the second one.
Duplicate.
I create a new one, and because then it's also moving a bit, and I switch on my onion skinning that I can see
The previous one.
The previous one, and I can just override it. Boom. And here, for example, you can see, because the flag is already moving, the line is on a different, where is it? Oh no, did I no, now I made a mistake. I used the same layer, then you can see the line, the red line, and my
exactly, yeah,
is on the same layer. So
yeah,
it happens sometimes.
It always happens.
I was not
real life mistakes.
Careful enough, but okay, I create another one. I quickly create my line again. And I will erase this from that one here. So I think because there's only the A here, I can redraw my A. So I don't have to do everything again. So okay, now I'm on the right layer. And I can make my line visible again and also place it here.
Mm-hmm. Someone has got to make a meme out of Sandrine's quote. Wrong layer is a common occurrence in my house.
Yeah, same here. I think, yeah, when talking and drawing at the same time, sometimes it can be tricky.
Yeah.
So reposition my line again. Going back to the right layer, okay. I mean, I could also just duplicate them and only erase the one here on the corner, but I think it's nice to have this, yeah, kind of motion also inside the typography. So okay, let's see how it works. I go back to my flag, turn up the opacity and switch off the onion skinning so it's a bit better what I created. Yeah, and it's already working.
Yay!
For example, here now, because I made only 4 frames for the flag, you can already see here I have like, it's not matching anymore because I have different amounts of animated layers for the flag and for the typography. So bring everything to 12 so it's matching then for all your animation. Yeah, let's see the time. Okay, so maybe because I think we can't finish everything today, I would now jump, because I already finished it, I would show the finished illustration of the flag and also her feet. And then because I wanted to show another thing. Wait, I can bring these all in a group.
Yeah, it'd be great to see how you also export that, because I know we had a question in the beginning on the chat.
Yeah, I think that would be good. So this is my lady.
Hello, lady.
And now she's already walking.
Nice.
And for example, this this is what I meant before, like the flag, the movement of the flag is a bit too slow, but the movement for her feet is quite good. So you have to, somehow find like a way in between. Yeah, and for this, I could, for example, set the frames per second a bit higher. She's also walking faster, of course, but for example, you could duplicate the layers from her legs. That's how I did it. So she's walking a bit slowly, and so this is, in the end, these are the things you have to try out how it's working. And the last thing I wanted to show, because I wanted to create like that you can see that she's walking, so I thought of maybe making or creating a flower in the background, or something like, I don't know, a plant or whatever. So a separate layer again. Also just a simple shape. Big one and a smaller one. And for these two layers, I want to use the path animation. I will bring them here. That's also the good thing about working with vectors, because you can bring them outside your artboard and they're still existing. And when you do that with a pixel layer, it cuts the piece off, which is not on your artboard anymore. So this is also good. So, okay, and for this one, I'm using the path animation. I'm just clicking on the path here, and directly you can, like, you are in a tool where you can create your path.
So exciting. Path animation. I never tried it personally.
And you can also slow down the speed, or you can make it a bit faster. It depends. And you can also add multiples, for example, that maybe you want to have 4, but now I want to have them really on a straight line. So I will erase that path again. And a cool thing is the ruler also works for your path animation, because you can now bring it here and you can just draw your path on the ruler, and you have a really straight line that she's walking in a straight way.
Great trick. Nice.
And this one here, and the last thing, I go to the smaller one. Where's the paint bucket tool? Also go on path. Now you can move your ruler again. You can draw your path maybe a bit higher.
Can you make the path in blur? I have a question from the chat here.
In blur?
But can you blur the path?
No, I mean, you can scatter the single elements.
Ah, look at that. Yeah.
So it has this effect. I mean, for my plants, it doesn't make sense. But for example, I used this this effect yesterday for the clouds. So they are not in a straight line. They're a bit scattered. For this one, it's pretty good. Here, I just keep it in the same row.
Yeah, but I believe the motion blur, like the similar motion blur effect, I don't think it's on Fresco. That's what the question is about.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just on Photoshop for now.
Yeah. So, and maybe see the finished illustration. Okay, we have 7 minutes left. That's pretty good, because now I can show how I would bring, or how I would save this as a GIF for ready to use for Giphy. Because the thing is, when I'm happy with my animation, I would change a few bits and pieces, but for now we're happy with it. And
yeah, it looks great.
I think there's some mistake in the flag. I don't know.
No, it looks great. It's a very do-it-yourself sticker.
And maybe Tim can again show my Oh no, okay. Not anymore, because I wanted to show
The desktop, yeah.
The desktop. I wanted to show how I export it, but
in what formats can we export?
I will share my iPad again for a second. Okay, Tim? So, okay, here we go again. Let me check. Yeah, okay, we are back. So I go to export and publish and export. And what is new here in Fresco, you have this motion option, and you can export an MPEG-4 or a GIF or a PNG sequence. But the thing is, usually you could just export MPEG-4, but I want to have a transparent background, so I turn off the visibility here, go back to export, and now I will export a PNG sequence, and I can generate the frames. It will generate, and then I can send it directly to my iMac. I already done this, so now I will stop this screen share again, and will screen share my desktop.
Here we go.
Okay, let's see whether it's working. Okay, I have so many devices here. Can you already see my screen? Is it working?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay, so you can send this to your computer, and it will generate you a zip or like a folder. And in this folder, you have all the separate frames exactly as PNG. And then you can go into Photoshop, go to script, and load files into Stack. I already did this because it takes like 2 minutes or something around that, because you have 85 frames. Which you can open. And here, for example, you can see that the order, there are a few mistakes in the order, because it orders like 1 and then it goes up to 19, but it puts like frame 2 in front of 20. So you have to make these little adjustments. You can just select the 5, the 6 here.
And is there a reason this happens? So this way we can learn from it?
I think it's just because it starts with 1 and then it directly jumps to 1, 0. So technically I can't explain it, but like it's always the same. But when you know it, you can just look for the right position where it is, and you can just bring them into the right position. And yeah, it's just a few clicks, and then you have everything in the right order. And here you can go to Window, and you can click on your timeline here. And what you can do here is create frame animation, and then go to the hamburger menu and say make frames from layers. So then it creates 1 frame for each layer. And for example, you could also select all and say, like, you can adjust the timing here as well, but I think I'm pretty happy with 0 seconds.
I love this. It's so cute.
Let me see. Is she walking into the right? Yeah, she's walking into the right direction. Yeah. Otherwise, you could select all the frames, and you could also say, I think there's also option reverse frame, so you can switch the direction. Yeah, so this is basically the GIF, and then you can export it or save for web. Like you have this under file and save for web. Here's the size again. For example, when it's bigger, you could also resize it here again, 500 by 500 pixel. Make sure that it's GIF. You have the transparent background, and save it. And yeah, when we're done, I can quickly jump over to Chrome. And I think there are a few different options where you can use your stickers. I think there's also an option for the Apple store or also for the Google store, but the most common way to use your stickers, and also that's the way how it's working for Instagram.
Yeah,
you can
search on Giphy and find it with the right hashtag.
Right, yeah, exactly. You can create, it's for free, you can create an account, and also you can create, or you can apply for an artist account. So you can upload stickers and they will also be visible for others who are looking for them. And when you upload a new one, like what you mentioned, make sure that you're using a lot of hashtags, like the better describing.
The more unique, the better.
Right, yeah. And also use your own hashtag. Like my name here is Hi Tanja, so I'm all the time using Hi Tanja as hashtag. It makes it more easy. For example, when you post a story on Instagram, you can just like looking for Hi Tanja and you can directly see all the hashtags, for example. Because I think, for example, for Women's Day, I don't know, but I guess there are millions
of Women's Day hashtags. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and that's it.
No, that's amazing. I love this. We created the cutest sticker that hopefully we can use. Is it public? Can we use it on using the Hi Tanya hashtag, or it's not public? Okay, so let's do that.
I mean, I did not try it yet, but I think, yeah, when you go into, when you want to post a story on Instagram and you look for Hi Tanya, you should find it. Hopefully.
Okay, let's find out after the stream. So thank you so much, Tanya. It was an absolute pleasure to host you. I can't wait to see the full series all together. And I want to thank everyone who joined us on this special day today. Reminder that we're still not done. Tomorrow we have another stream by Tony Harmer, who's going to be talking about advanced InDesign. So it's a full masterclass to watch tomorrow. Don't miss that. We're live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 12 p.m. UK time. So do join us. Thank you so much for everyone on the chat today that joined us. Tanya, thanks again. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.